How's it going? Welcome back to another great video with the majestic host, the Savior. Now today this is going to be a quick one as there's not much to say, and I am basing this review on the OG classics, but I just thought I would go over some details as pretty much there hasn't been much news about Lara Croft Remastered, so I just thought I would give you this Lara Croft Remastered review, an early access look at Lara Croft. I'm sorry if I do sound a little bit nasally in this video because I am not feeling that great recently, so do bear with me, okay? So I think we can all agree and say that Lara Croft has basically been a huge impact for, the gaming community as a whole. Lara Croft was completely fundamental back in the day, and it basically shaped 3D action platformers forever, and it really did change gaming, and especially modern day gaming, and how women were portrayed in gaming, which I find quite funny because you're not going to get this type of character model anymore.
A classic example of this is the original Tomb Raider games, which are presented from a third-person perspective wherein protagonist Lara Croft's entire body is visible. In these early Tomb Raider games, Lara's butt is typically right in the center of the screen, a camera orientation which, along with the sexualized clothing the designers choose to outfit her in, places a tremendous amount of emphasis on that part of her body.
Are you retarded?
So I do hope you enjoy this Tomb Raider Remastered review, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. It only takes you 2 seconds of your time, but it means absolutely everything to me. I put a lot of effort into my videos, and if you want to support me, please do check out my music on Spotify. It would mean so much to me, and just consider subscribing if you do like this content. Early reviews, video essays, philosophical content, you're in the right place. Become a wise one and subscribe. We're getting so close to 10k, and it would just mean everything to me. So let me know if you've been looking forward to Lara Croft Remastered, and there isn't much gameplay to go on at the moment, so I am just showing you some extra remastered gameplay from a different project. There's actually been a few. I've played one myself, and it's just so much fun. It just feels so good to play like a classic Lara Croft game, but have it, with up-to-date visuals. But I've got to say that the old school games, back on like the PlayStation 2 and stuff like that, they never look bad. I really like the aesthetic of them, actually. And even the original Lara Croft games had their own unique, aesthetic, and I really do like the kind of polygon look. The polygon cake just doesn't get old. So I do hope you enjoy this Lara Croft Remastered review, and like I said, it is based on the original, but after all my research, I do know that this is going to play exactly like the classics. This is literally the same games, okay, but it's just a new coat of paint, and I like the fact that they're actually doing what the Master Chief Collection did with Halo 2, that remaster or remake. Well, it's a remaster, it's not a remake. I wish this was a remake to some degree. Having it as a remaster is nice because, there hasn't been a good way to play these games for most people, but now you will get the chance. But I would have kind of liked to see a remake as well. But I do like the fact that they kept it OG with the gameplay, but they could have added new stuff to it, but it hasn't really got any of that. It does have all of the DLCs, which is a big bonus, so for people who missed that, or for people who haven't played this, and that's more likely, a lot of people just haven't touched the original Lara Croft games, this is the perfect opportunity to actually get your hands on it. But they are basically doing the similar thing that Halo 2 did, in which you can switch between 2 graphical modes on the fly. You don't need to go into settings, you don't need to pause the game or anything like that. As far as I know, you just switch between the 2 modes instantaneously and in photo mode, which is a really nice touch. I really do like that when you can switch back and it actually changes, the music, the visuals, all of that stuff. And it's just nice to, look at an environment and see how it's changed for the better or for the worst in some cases. So you do get the extra DLCs, like I mentioned, like the Golden Mask. So for people who are new to the franchise, and maybe this will get you back into the older Lara Croft games, because I do think they are much better compared to the newer Lara Croft games. They are basically generic third-person shooters, and I am talking about the games on the PlayStation 2 as well, because that was my shit when I was growing up, and I just loved it, you know, running around Croft Manor, exploring all the tiny details. No game out there has perfected the kind of temple run nature of Lara Croft, mixed in with, you know, some third-person shooting, some awesome, you know, movement and traversal, and then, of course, the puzzles, okay? The puzzles in the older games especially, they don't mess around, okay? You will not have any hand-holding mechanic, and I like the fact that they haven't added that to the remaster as well, so it is going to be difficult, and maybe for modern-day gamers, okay, who only play AAA games, this might be a little bit of a brain-scratcher for you, but I think it is good because we need that in modern-day gaming, games that just don't tell you anything and are very immersive and actually respect you and your intelligence, which is refreshing. The only negative in this Lara Croft Remastered review is the fact that the control scheme I was worried about. I did think, you know, it was very janky back in the day. Sometimes, you know, trying to jump to a certain platform, it just doesn't register. And as much as I do like the movement and, you know, the moves that she pulls off and stuff like that, especially in the original games, it did feel rather janky. But luckily it has been confirmed that there are going to be 2 different control modes in this Lara Croft remaster, so you can switch between both. Finally, we have something that isn't a cash grab. If this was made by Rockstar, okay, they probably would try and just ship you, well, you know, what they did with their remaster. I'm just glad that this isn't a complete cash grab. You know, the price is reasonable. They're giving you the full free games and all of the DLC, not like certain companies that literally remake their own game within a couple of years, like The Last of Us. This does feel like it is for the fans, and I really do have to appreciate that, because that's what we need in modern day gaming, especially. And I just like the fact that they haven't altered too many things, although I would have liked to see some newer content, but of course that would be very difficult to pull off. But the good news is they have changed the control scheme for people who do want that modern experience a little bit, but you can also just switch back to the OG control. So I just like the fact that they are catering to both audience here. I do hope you enjoyed this Tomb Raider Remastered review. And the only other slight thing that's a little bit annoying for me is I just wish they went a little bit more extreme, okay? If this is just a graphical, you know, new coat of skin, which is what it is, you know, it's just a new slap of paint. They haven't changed the gameplay, they haven't given you, you know, extra content or anything like that. It's just the original games and the DLCs, which is nice, and I do like these, you know, kind of tweaks that they've made to make it feel modern, but instead of an updated polygon look to it, they just went full out remaster with, you know, ray tracing and more realistic details like we've seen with other Lara Croft or Tomb Raider remaster projects done by modders and stuff like that, but they went for their own polygon feel, and I know that would be more work, but then that would make it more stark of a difference, because honestly, it's more shiny, there's more detail, you know, there's less jaggies and stuff like that, and there is more polygons, but they didn't go that far, okay, you know, from going from, you know, like the water effects to the modern remastered effects. I just wish they went further with it, and that's my only slight criticism, I would say, but I am looking forward to it, and it is a good way to play it again. So I do hope you enjoyed this Tomb Raider Remastered review, the early access look to it. I have played the originals, of course. Let me know if you're going to pick it up as well, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.